Yo, people. Welcome back. Today, this is kind of in the way. My bad. Today, I will be going over the type of line that I like to use. And it is Varivas America. I think it's personally the best line out. That is just my personal opinion, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I have a discount with them, because that discount doesn't just work for me, it works for you. That discount code on checkout is IMBTB. IMBTB. Remember that. Also, if you're new to the channel and you've been scanning through some of the videos and you like what's going on, hit the subscribe button. Go ahead. You can hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. If you don't like something, leave a comment as well. There's a chance we can talk about it, and depending on how I feel about it, it might stay or I might delete it. I've done it before. No hard feelings, because I felt like some things just don't need to be said. Anyways, Varivas America. I'm going to start with how I break things down. I break things down by two: the standard spool, the micro casting spool. My standard spool, for instance, I haven't used this reel in a while, and I need to probably put it back into rotation. Actually need to put both of these back into rotation. But my standard spool usually would come at heavier line, and the max is 14-pound test for me. And I only have that because of some of the locations that I fish. They're heavily vegetated. A lot of hang-ups, trees, rocks, and I would definitely be using PEX4 versus X8. So the PEX4, 14 down to 9.5. The higher the number, so for 14, my leader, depending on what lure I'm using, if I'm using a top water, it's definitely the nylon set. And you guys can read up on the different types of nylon there is. I know for sure 2 or 3, maybe 4, could be more than that. I just know, like, there's the master spec, then there's the master spec 2, then there is the master shock trout leader, and then it's the regular trout shock leader. And they all different prices, and they all have different things that they do. Some are UV protected, some aren't. But 14-pound, 12-pound fluorocarbon leader, 10-pound fluorocarbon leader, 8-pound fluorocarbon leader will go on that 14-pound test, or 10. If it's 10, it's 2 steps down. I know some people I've seen where they'll use 6-pound braid and go heavier with their leader. For me, I don't do that because a lot of the stuff that I fish with is micro, and micro requires thinner line. So my 9-pound, 7, it's always 2 below. If I'm using my PEX4, my PEX8, which here is my favorite line, 7-pound test, I am going to be using 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all depending on what species I'm after. Trout, nothing over 4. I learned the hard way. They can see line, and they can see line really well, and they will come up and literally do like things like jumping over it or doing limbo under it. It's just crazy that they can see the line once you hit a certain pound test. They won't even mess with it. They'll run up and look at it like you're crazy. But PEX8, designed for micro casting. Of course, all of the braid, freshwater braid, I noticed is marking additions. So each of these have, I'll put it up there. I don't know, that one probably is not a good example because you probably can't see that too well. I'm hoping you guys can see that. So with this one, it has three color codes. And those color codes break down the marks, letting you know how far you cast. If you missed a fish, certain people don't go this far into detail or depth when they're fishing. They're just fishing. Me, if I miss a fish, I want to be able to pinpoint how much line was out and try to get within that distance on the next cast. So the marking addition is great for that. Speaking of marking additions, they just sent me some pretty expensive line in the mail, and this is the saltwater edition of the Infinity PX8. This one's called Aveni. I could be saying it wrong, but it comes in these really fancy boxes. Of course, I have here in my hand 7 pound or 7.5 and 5.6 pounds. And I know this isn't a marking edition, it's solid white. And this is gonna seem crazy. I'm putting the first 60 feet on the scorpion, my very first bait from That's Real. I wanna try something. I want to be able to see if the scorpion, which I have modified, can handle, of course, 1 gram. And I've built a rod designed to throw 0.2 to 4 grams. And I want to see if it's capable of doing it with no issues. I'm going to use this to try it out. Of course, your tippet or leaders come color coded, so you know what you're dealing with. And this one starts at 1.5 and it goes all the way up to 14 in my case on this one. This is my nylon leader tippet bar for throwing top water. I would use would it just be strictly top water? That's a question for you guys. Would you guys use nylon for spinner baits or anything else? Or is it strictly just for your top water? Me, I use fluorocarbon majority of the time. I will even mess around and forget that the fluorocarbon's on there for my top water, and instead of the lure popping, it drops, and I'm like, oh, geez. But there is some line condition. This stuff here, you can spray. It said it's not in English at all anywhere on here, but I spoke directly to the Varivas, and he said that you can spray it on your spool, and he said on your tackle as well. And what it does is your braid won't absorb water as much. It helps with not absorbing water. It makes the braid actually last longer, and it makes it slick. It gives it an extra coat to make it so that it'll cast even further than it already casts. So this doesn't necessarily need to be used for bait finesse. You can use this on anything. He said anything. So if you're strictly using nylon or strictly fluorocarbon, you can use this as well. But from what I read and what he responded to me for, I think it would be perfect for what I like to do. I want to say thank you for sending me this. And you guys remember, my discount code is IMBTB. But yeah, this is my favorite line. And I've been fishing for over 30 years. My favorite knot for this type of line, it's called BT. It's called a BT knot. It's a half FG knot, I would say. I think I want to do a video on just the knot that I like to tie. Do like a little 2-minute video and just show you guys that knot. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap this up and try to keep it short, brief, and what I like to use. And remember, circle, free lifetime subscription. The square or squares are either how-to videos or other fishing videos. I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, peace out.